Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome to the first build video of this car here. Now I'm saying build because I'm probably just going to call it a transformation because really it's already all built. I'm just swapping stuff over from this car here. So today we're going to be doing the Kouki taillights, or Kouki, or however you pronounce it in Japanese or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to be throwing those onto here because they had it. And then I'm going to probably also take off the Enkis on the front here and whatever these are down here and put my VS6s on it. Just because why not? I'm going to do it anyway. But yeah, from that point on, then it's just putting all the other stuff I had onto that car. So let's get started. So it's just held on by all these little bolts here. They're all just like along here, little pegs like this. They literally just take like one little twist from a ratchet and you can undo them all by hand. So it's very easy actually to do taillights. It's the same for the center panel garnish thing down there. And they use the same bolts for both the Kouki taillights and the stock ones, like the Zenki ones. They're both stock, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it's fairly straightforward and pretty simple. So it may be necessary to use a hairdryer or something to go ahead and soften the glue up, as you guys saw on that side. And it should come off fairly easily. You just got to leave it on there for a bit, especially if it's cold out, like here in the Canadas. Just use a little pry bar to start it up, and then you can continue pulling on through, and it'll gradually make its way out of here. A little more difficult with one hand, but there you go. Okay, so I got all the sealer off around these around the taillights here, and now I'm going to pop them in the red car. Not gonna wire them up yet because I'm gonna put the Zenki taillights in this car and then wire those up, just because I'm gonna have to drive that. And look how much it's snowed since I started. So this is the stuff that comes with the taillights that you put around the edges. I'm hoping I have enough. I have like half of 2 rolls, so I'm not really sure how much I used originally, but hopefully this is enough to put those in there. And I'll just use some generic sealer for that one. So I got the taillights all in. I love the way that center panel looks with the red body color. It looks really pink on this camera. I don't know if it'll turn like that on actual YouTube itself. But yeah, the color contrast between the green Kevlar garnish and the red paint is beautiful. The flash on so you guys can kind of see it a little better. It's kind of focusing on all the snow though, unfortunately. But yeah, it's not wired up yet. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these Zenki tails in here like I said and wire those up before I go ahead and wire this up. Probably gonna wire it up in like a day or two maybe. I don't think I'm gonna put the VS6s on tonight just because it is a lot later than I expected. There's quite a bit of snow, and I don't really feel like taking those wheels off right now to get the spacers out. I think I'm going to call that a day, and then continue on with the VS6s some other day. Probably tomorrow if we're not like having a ton of snow or anything. But yeah, there it is. So this is going to end the video. It's quite a long ways away from when I actually put these on. But yeah, I never took the fronts off because there were 2 locking nuts on each wheel, and I got those out by hammering a 16, I believe it was a 16mm deep socket over top of them, and then just pulling it off with a breaker bar. But yeah, those wheels are still on there. Need to go ahead and take those off still, but I'll probably show that at some point. The spacers are still on the other car too, so it's no big deal. I'm mainly just excited to get the 5-lug swap for all of those VS6s sometime in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I'll see you all later.